Hey guys, it's Hayes with CheatSheetPros.com. Today we're going to take a look at the February 7th, 2022 Monday 5-game NBA slate on our NBA cheat sheets. If you'd like to play with them, we have a Facebook group where we post them every Thursday and other random days of the week. The link is in the description of this video. And make sure you subscribe to the channel below. We're going to be posting a lot more content in 2022. So let's go ahead and get started with these 5 games and take a look at the plays. Right now I have 2 favorite plays and then a couple other leans. And as always in the YouTube video, I'm going to walk through every game and kind of show you what our model says, what I think, and kind of just give you my opinion. And you guys can take it or leave it. So as always over here, once you click into the bottom team, which is the home team, you get this box over here, which is a drop-down menu. And then you can scroll through the different games. Hey, bud, you done itching yet? Sorry, my dog was scratching. First game we have is Toronto at Charlotte. So our main model right here, we've got Toronto minus 12. So if you don't want to look at any of the numbers or stats, just go right over here and look at these boxes. And this is going to tell you a difference of the spread. So this says Toronto by 10. So basically what that means is we have Toronto by 12. They're laying 2, so that's a 10-point different than the Vegas spread. So anything that's 6, 7, 8 points, that's a game we recommend that you look at. Make sure the players are in there. There's not someone that's a star player that's ruled out. And then go ahead and earmark that game to take a look at. So this is one of my favorite bets tonight. It's one of my 2 that I've already bet. So we have Toronto minus 12. They're laying 2. In our cheat sheet power rankings here, you can see we got number 4 versus number 26. And Charlotte's kind of fallen off the map. Now, they've played some tough teams here. Miami and Boston are red hot right now. Cleveland's so-so, they're decent. Clippers are kind of so-so, but 3 of those 4 games have been at home. They've lost 4 straight, 6 of the last 8, and 2 of their last 4 losses have been by 18 and then 25 points by the Clippers. So they are at home tonight, but they've lost the last home game they played to Miami by 18 points, so that worries me a little bit. And then recently here you can see their perimeter defense and interior defense has slipped down to 29th in both, so that worries me a little bit. Toronto is red hot right now. They've won 5 games in a row by 4, 6, 4, 7, and 11 points. They're coming off of 2 wins against a tough Atlanta team that's playing really good right now. They beat them on the road and at home, and then they beat Miami twice, who is really good. And then their most recent game, they beat Chicago by 7. So they've got 5 big wins. So laying 2, I don't think that's enough points here. So I definitely like this. I think it's more of a 5 to 8 point game pretty comfortably. But I do like Charlotte, so I would like to see him get back in the mix. But right here, when we're looking at the points per game, on the season, Charlotte's number 1, but over the last 3, they fell down to 29th. Oh, let me slide that over so you can see it. And then Toronto's 18th on the season, but they're up to 5th. So these teams are going in opposite directions. So Toronto is one of our plays that we have today. As far as the total, nothing really jumps out at me at this point. You can see Charlotte's been playing some low total games, and then Toronto's been playing some big total games. So I'm kind of in a mix right now. But Toronto minus 2 is our first play. Going over to Golden State and OKC, you can see the Vegas line is Golden State minus 12.5. We've got it minus 12, so only a difference of, it's about 0.5. We round this up to an even number, so we'll say 1 point off the Vegas spread. So that's not enough for me to like either side. Now, when I'm looking at these games, OKC had a hot 3-game streak, and then they lost this game. But the reason they lost this game is Dort was ruled out in the middle of the afternoon, so without him, they were really struggling all game. But Golden State's been red hot. They've been beating everybody. They've won 8 of the last 9, or 9 of the last 10, and 8 in a row. A lot of these games, though, were small wins, but then they do have a couple big blowout wins. So if Dort was playing, I would lean towards OKC plus 12.5, but I don't love it. But if you have to pick a side on one of these games, that's what I would take. If Dort is out, then I would definitely take Golden State. Probably my first half, which is probably going to be minus 7, 7.5, somewhere around there, because Golden State does easily take this game if Dort is out. If Dort is in, it's a little bit tougher for him, and I think it falls closer to the spread, but that's kind of where I'm at this point. And you can see our models, we have a lot that lean under. I don't typically bet unders. I kind of I fade those, take it with a grain of salt, unless it's someone like Dallas who has Luka and Porzingis in and they're playing at home where they are a huge ATS underplay. But we have over by 10, so I would probably look at an overplay here. But what worries me is OKC has 2 games of 189 and 179, but Golden State is absolutely just rolling right now. So I would lean the over here, and then depending on if Dort's in or out, that's how I would play that game. Going over here to Phoenix and Chicago, Vegas opened this at 8. You can see both of these teams are 12th and 9th in our cheat sheet power rankings. And our model has this at Phoenix -8. So it spit it out right on the Vegas spread. So I don't like a side either way in this one. It makes it difficult. Both teams are solid ATS. You can see Chicago's 17-9 ATS at home, and then Phoenix is 16-9 ATS on the road. Last 10 power rankings, the edge is going to go over here to Phoenix as they sit number 2. They've won 9 of their last 10 games, and a lot of these by double digits. Pretty healthy wins here. Chicago's been struggling a little bit. They've lost 2 of 3, but 2 of those losses were against Philadelphia, which is a solid team, and then against a red-hot Toronto team right now. And then they beat a semi-poor Indy team. So this is tough. If you want to bet Phoenix, I would not lay the 8. I would probably lay the first half of like a 4.5 number and then wait and kind of see how the game plays out or how it starts. But again, I think this is a really good line on the game, and I don't think there's an edge on it either way. So just something to keep an eye on. And then coming down here to Miami and Washington, this is going to be my second play today that I've already bet. And you can see our cheat sheet power rankings up here. We got 25 versus number 7. And then Vegas opened this at 6. We've got Miami -16. Now, I'm not looking at this saying, hey, I'm going to go find an alternative line and bet Miami -15 because Hayes told me they're going to win by 16. We're just looking at discrepancies between our model and Vegas. So we're not saying, hey, they're going to win by 16. We're saying, hey, the stats are spitting out a number of 16, and that's a 10-point difference than the Vegas spread. So that's a game we probably want to take a look at. With the cheat sheet power rankings and the large discrepancy with our model, that's one I want to earmark right off the bat. So when we're looking at this game, I'm glancing at the last 10. Washington 2-8, and we're going to throw this game out because it was kind of a while ago. So we're looking at 1-8 right now, which that's kind of funny. They beat Philadelphia twice here and here, but then they got crushed by everybody else. So out of their last, 2, 4, 6 games, 4 of them they've been blown out. 29, 20, 14, and 15 points. So I think you got to lean Miami here. You can't have any faith in Washington staying within 6. Especially Miami's played 2 games on the road. They beat Charlotte and they beat the Spurs by 18 and 17 points. So you could say they've won their last 2 games by a combined 35 points. And then they're only laying 6 on the road against a Washington team that's been struggling. So I definitely like laying the 6. It's probably going to climb from here. I can't imagine it's going to stay at 6. But that's one that we really like. So that would be my number 2 play of the day. Glancing over here at the ATS numbers, Miami is great against the spread, 31 and 23 on the year, 17 and 13 on the road. And then Washington's 20 and 31. They are way upside down on the year and only 12 and 14 at home. Last 10 power rankings, we got number 10 versus number 24. So yeah, we're going to lean Miami -6 in this spot. Coming over here to New York and Utah, this would be the third play that I would lean on. I like Utah here. Now you can see that our model is different. So the games that I post, the picks that I like, aren't necessarily a representation of the NBA model that is on the cheat sheet because sometimes I go completely against them, like the Wyoming over in college last night. I had wrote that up and said, hey, the trends point to the under, the sheet says to go under, but F that, I'm going over. And the game ended up under. So it is what it is. So we got this game. We got Utah winning by 3. Vegas opened this at 8. Now what I like about this, and the reason I go against the model here, is because Donovan Mitchell's only been back 1 game. And when he came back that game, they played Brooklyn and they beat him by 23 points. And this model puts about a 70% weight on the last 3 games. So Donovan Mitchell weren't in 2 of those games, so I don't think the stats are skewed enough towards Utah. So that's one of the things I always tell people when you're looking at our model. If there's been a significant change in players, like if, let's say, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert's out for 3 games and they're coming back this game, I would not use the number it's spitting out for Utah because 2 of their best players significantly change everything. But looking at New York, I mean, they're 2-8 over the last 10 games. Look at these red marks. These are blowouts. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games of the last 10. They've been blown out by double digits. And with Donovan Mitchell back, Utah playing at home, I'm going to take Utah here. And I'm not going to lay the half. I'm going to lay the 4.5, 5 points for the first half line. And then I'm going to kind of make a play from there. I did see someone in the chat yesterday said they bet a game line and a first half line. Well, you're just shooting yourself in the foot when you're doing that, because if they're losing the first half line and they're getting killed, you're going to get a much better line betting the second half than you are on the game line. So don't do that. If you're betting a first half line, do not bet the game line. Wait till halftime, because if they're losing that game, then you're going to get a much more favorable line for them to come back in the second half. But in that case, the guy killed himself betting because he lost the first half line, and that team did not cover the game line, but they did cover the second half line. So keep that in mind. So right now, the plays that we have are going to be Utah first half. It's going to be somewhere around -4.5. And then my 2 favorite plays are going to be Toronto -2 and Miami -6. So if I see any ATS trends for totals, I usually watch those in the afternoon after lunch because you can see where a lot of money's moving. I'll go ahead and post those on Twitter as well. And then coming over here, just looking at some of the early money, I try to track this and just throughout the day kind of see where everything's going. So Toronto opened at 1, it's out to 2. Money's kind of split. The cash is coming in on Charlotte, but there's more tickets on the Raptors. But again, it's early. Nothing in the Heat game, nothing in the Bulls game. And then you can see Warriors are getting a lot of money. They've got 89% of the cash, 90% of the tickets right now. And then the Knicks-Jazz game, got a lot of money and tickets on the Jazz. But again, it's early. This could be 10 tickets, so don't pay attention to the percentages. But those are the 3 games we're going to roll with tonight. Good luck, guys, and we should be back on Tuesday.